Hey everybody, today I'll just be going over Counter-Strike Go and its gamepad aiming issues. This applies only to the PC version. I haven't tested the console version, so I don't know if this is applicable to that. Otherwise, this is going to be a very short video because the only issues I found with it just relate to the dead zone. So getting onto that, the dead zone size for CSGO is about 27%. But this is only for the horizontal axis. The vertical axis is about 29%, meaning this isn't a perfect square dead zone, it's a slightly rectangular one. So, being a rectangular dead zone, you have to move further for the diagonals before any acceleration occurs, as you can see. Now, just looking at the size, 27% is just slightly larger than the norm, being about 25% for mini games. But even that's a very large dead zone. You can just see how much stick movement I can make without any cursor movement happening in game. This makes precise adjustments very difficult to make, especially when you have to put more effort into your diagonal movements. And speaking of diagonals, rectangular dead zones have the side effect of stopping the stick from registering diagonal movement. So as you can see, I can wobble the stick up and down, but my cursor is moving perfectly left. I can put it at a very obvious angle and it's still moving perfectly left. This happens around each axis. It's very easy to see on the vertical ones because you can cap the view like this. You don't see diagonal movement occur until you pass into this green region, which denotes diagonal movement. Now, the main thing that this does is make all diagonal movement incorrect, because quite a few of the angles the stick could be outputting are just put into the cardinal directions. So all this blue area is just 4 of the 360 degrees you could be getting. And while you don't lose any angles, you can still access very subtle angles. They're all crammed in here, so you have to, if you want a subtle angle, you have to actually make a pretty noticeable angle to see a subtle angle, and that's absolutely not intuitive at all. So tracking targets becomes a very clunky mess, acquiring targets becomes a mess. It's just all around clunky because of this. The game doesn't offer any dead zone options either. The PC version, of course, you can go into the ini or the config, and there are options to change this, which they do, but as far as I'm aware, the console versions didn't have this, and so you're stuck with the default size. And for a game like Counter-Strike, which has always been regarded as one of the most precise shooters out there, this basically cripples it drastically, and which is probably why Counter-Strike Go failed as hard as it did on console, because it likely had this same setup for its console versions. I don't really have any problems with the acceleration. It starts slow, builds up, so this game's problems are just based around its dead zone size and shape. Of course, this is only the PC version, so I don't know if those specifics translate directly to the console version, but yeah, this is the dead zone shape and size are the main issues, and of course the lack of a dead zone option to customize it. But thanks for watching. You guys have a good rest of your day.